Hello, listeners. You're listening to Season 2, Episode 2 of the Wolfe and Thorn podcast. This is the Cursed Edition.
It does feel a bit cursed.
Oh, God. So, my name's CC Thornley and I play banjo.
And I'm Emily Wolfe and I play the violin.
So we're supposed to record this on Wednesday and have it out on Thursday. So I invested, because we're professional podcasters now, I invested $2,500 of the last of my savings into a whole bunch of equipment. That was unfortunately an Apple Mac and Repo software program. And that was the wrong choice. And so we listened to that back. And I swear to God, we recorded the same thing on episode 1, like the same settings on episode 1, haven't touched them. And then when I went to listen back, it had recorded at a different bit rate, which means that for you people who aren't in radio land, it means the podcast sounded like... That's what it sounded like. I didn't feel like that was a professional enough quality to release.
No, and I think people would be like, have we started a new language or something?
Yeah, man. Oh.
So I got a very distressed phone call from you on Wednesday evening. Yeah. And so we're like, well, and today's obviously not Wednesday. It's now Friday. And we're doing it again.
Doing it again about an hour before we have to go to a gig.
Because that's how we roll.
Yeah, I know. And that's not all. Like this week, my phone broke as well, and as you know, all your personal information, like phone numbers and people you love and care about, and some people that you hate and must avoid, and their details.
They're the best numbers too.
Yeah, but they're the ones like I end up ringing up and go, "G'day," and oh no, because it didn't have the caller ID on it. But yeah, so my phone broke.
Yes.
And so if you're calling me now, I don't know who you are. I might like you, I might hate you. I don't know.
Just give it a try.
Just give it a try. See what you get. Lucky dip. Yeah.
Lucky dip.
Oh, God.
We can do this. It's okay. Deep breaths.
So, as you know, the Wolfe and Thorn podcast, what we do is we play Tasmanian heritage songs from the living history of Tasmanian folk music that extends all the way back, as far as you can see, and right up to just a few minutes ago. And, the eternal now that pushes forward, we're just behind that.
30 seconds ago.
Sorry,
I was going to say we recorded our first episode at the Providence Cafe in North Hobart. So thanks to those who actually attended to be part of our live audience. We had a lot of fun recording it. And it actually, we didn't lose that one.
No.
So that's a plus.
Settings were fine.
We
never touched them.
So, and that was really fun. And I'd like to give a shout out to listeners who listen abroad.
Oh, yes, because, so one thing I did this week, I went into the back end of the podcast, into the what's called the analytics, and had a look just to see who was listening and how it goes and what all those services offer, and we discovered some very interesting things. So there's a person down in Antarctica who listens to us every week, so a big shout out to the Antarctican frontline defence forces that are trying to protect us from the evil snowmen down there.
Love your work.
Yeah,
keep
great.
it up.
It was fantastic. I hope you're keeping her entertained as you move into the long dark night, because it's the long dark night is like, it's winter down there.
Yeah, thanks for pointing that out.
Because we're in the southern hemisphere.
Yeah.
The proper hemisphere where everything makes sense.
That's right. And I think we have some listeners in France.
We do have some listeners in France. So I'm going to say, I was going to say bonjour, but then I realised that's probably
you said it anyway.
Inappropriate. Yeah, it's racial appropriation. So g'day, France. How you going there? Good on you. Thanks for listening. I can't even say the name. My French is so bad, and I feel very intellectually impoverished by this, but I can't even pronounce the name of the town they're from. You
attempted before, but I think it's best that you don't try again.
Yeah, but you know who you are. Thank you very much. Merci. Merci, mate.
Oh, my God. I think we have some listeners in Canada as well. So
yes, we do have some regular listeners in Canada.
So thank you for listening. It's nice to know that our podcasts are reaching out, and we're hopefully giving you something.
Yeah, that's what my mum used to say. It doesn't matter, Carlos, so long as you just reach out and touch that one person. And it turns out that did matter a lot, so I'm still on 12 months good behaviour bond regarding that.
She probably should have maybe explained that bit.
But drop us a line. If you're not from around here, drop us a line and say, g'day, how you going?
Please do. We like to hear that. It makes us feel good about ourselves.
If you do it in French or Canadian, doesn't matter. We've got Google Translate.
Canadian. Indian.
Or Antarctican. If you speak fluent Antarctican, we can use Google Translate.
Fluent Penguin, we can translate. Yeah, fantastic.
Another piece of news we have before we get into the 5 songs we're going to play you. A curious thing, because we put this out on all the platforms we can. We host it on a platform called Buzzsprout, but we put it out on Google and Apple, so all the different tribes of the internet that do not assimilate can listen to our podcast for free. And we put it out on YouTube as well. And it turns out that the automatic copyright machine that's run by the reptilian overlords who own YouTube has discovered that we have made copyright breaches playing this. So basically, all the music we play is definitely in the public domain, except for a few exceptions, and we're very clear about those exceptions. Like last week we played Para una Cabeza, which is the famous tango, which is definitely owned by someone else and written by someone else, and it's not part of the Tasmanian heritage canon of songs, and we played it because we like it and it's a fun song to play. And that's cool, and that's okay, and that copyright, thumbs up, all above board. However, there were 2 songs there that we got a strike against us, which is so weird. So one of the songs was a song that was given to us by Ernie Gruner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had a workshop with him a couple of years ago. I think it might have been 2018 or 19. And, it was the tune Mazel Tov, which is a traditional Jewish tune. And he brought that to the group and taught us that tune. And I had learnt that tune as well through, the circle of the folk scene, people teach you tunes, and I knew it was quite an old tune. So we were pulled up on that, which was quite interesting.
Apparently, so the machine recognised that as a song called Chupa.
Yes.
And so I had a look at this song called Chupa, and sure enough, it was exactly the same as Mazel Tov, but it was just a slightly different arrangement, which means either Ernie was giving us a song that was copyrighted by Warner Brothers or whoever, or Warner Brothers has gone and got a public domain song and turned it into a copyright. Now, listeners, what do you reckon is most feasible? What do you reckon is the most likely situation we're facing there? Big, fat, greedy corporate bastards, or a lovely, innocent folk musician with a heart of gold trying to give to his community? Who do you think's the bad guy in this situation?
Yes, it was a bit interesting when that one popped up.
And in our Christmas special, when we last year in season 1, we did Christmas carols that are sung in Tasmania and all over the Anglosphere. And one of those songs was We Three Kings, which is the song that goes da di da ba da da da. You know the one. Turns out that's a song called Battle Kings, the album version. I don't know who wrote that or what that's all about, and I couldn't find a copy of that song to compare it to, but I'm pretty sure that we were playing We Three Kings, and that was straight off the sheet music. So come and get me, reptilian overlords of YouTube. I'll fight ya! But they wrote me a letter saying your videos will be demonetized. And that was funny because our videos are demonetized. I don't want your money, you stinking reptiles.
Yep, that's been a fun thing for us to realise.
The mainstream, man. What a bunch of suckers.
Right, well, that's our news, isn't it? So
yes,
we've got a cursed episode and demonetising ourselves.
Yep, yeah. So if anyone asks me how I feel this week, I feel like a middle-aged white man, angry, scared, confused. That's how I feel. Well,
we might get stuck into that feeling. We'll just hold on to that. And we've got our 5 tunes that we do every podcast. And this first tune's called Leo's Prince of Wales Schottische.
Schottische?
Yes, a Schottische.
A fancy word for a type of song.
Yes, well, actually, the technical definition of a Schottische is it's a partnered country dance that was apparently originated in Bohemia, and it was popular in the Victorian ballroom era. So, and it's quite fun to play a Schottische. Has a different style. I reckon definitely how I like to play. It's got more of a hop or a spring to it. Right. And we've got a couple of Schottisches actually in this podcast episode. So you're gonna get Schottisched out. If that's even a phrase. Yeah. So
probably was back then.
Well, we've just created one. So we're going to play the first one, and it's called Leo, Prince of Wales. I'm not sure the origin of this tune. It's been in the Tasmanian database for a long time. I think it's possibly been collected along the way. So, yeah. If you do know who it's by, let us know.
Yeah.
Always keen to know.
I don't know this song too well, so I'm just going to follow along.
That's good. We'll do that.
That was the Leo's Prince of Wales, Schottische.
Nicely done.
Schottische is spelt awkwardly. If you're looking for Schottische on the internet, it's spelt Schottische, Schottische.
Yes, it's a funny word to say and to spell.
It's fun. Because you can get drunk and still say it pretty effectively.
Well, maybe we should put that to the test next time. You can do that.
All right, well, there's a dance on actually next weekend. I might get smashed and see if I can say it.
Well, actually, if you're in the Hobart area, you should come to this dance. It's at St. James Hall in Newtown, and we're playing for it, so you should come for that reason as well, and then to see Carl getting smashed and playing a schottische as well.
I'm playing schottische. Yeah, shut up.
It starts at 7:30. It's actually a steampunk ball, so you can come and get dressed up in your steampunk gear, and there's tea, cup dueling, and there's a chess dance. That's actually, they put like a chess board out. It's actually quite impressive. And it's a good, fun night. And the music will be pretty good.
And there'll be one giant Martian tripod just at the end.
Martian tripod.
Yeah. Ooh la!
Just to really,
Bring that Victorian feel home.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just for you guys.
Wells it up. So,
well, we're going to get into the second schottische because we have a couple. This one's called Pretty Lips or the Lollypop Schottische.
The Lollypop Schottische.
So again, not sure the origins of this one, but it's a really fun tune to play. So here we go. did a good job.
Oh, good on you. Thank you very much.
Maybe
Did
the
we-
curse is being lifted.
Maybe or maybe not, because I'm pretty sure we didn't play the first repeat.
I think we did.
You always think we did.
Well, maybe when you edited this, you can go back and check it.
I will. I'll get out my little Emily bell. And if I'm right, I'll make this sound. And if I'm wrong, I'll make this sound. So that's the Carlos foghorn for when I'm wrong, and the Emily bell for when I'm right.
I think we hear the foghorn a bit more.
Oh dear. Especially after a night on the beans.
Jeez, that's terrible. That's terrible.
It is rather. Yeah.
Honestly.
The next song we're going to play for you is a polka.
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 A polka.
Polka.
I think he said polka.
In Australia, we pronounce polka. 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 No. Listen. Polka. Oh, God.
Jeez. Yeah, so again, not quite sure the origins of these two tunes either, but I think... Didn't we? What were we saying in our first one before we lost it?
We had the most funniest joke we've had in 2 seasons. We should have written it down because it was hilarious, listeners. It was hilarious.
That's great because, you know.
Now we don't know nothing.
Now we don't.
I think it was something like this is from a school.
No, it wasn't. I think it was something a bit more, well, a little bit thought out.
There was a funny anecdote about one time at school I got caught doing some mischievous behaviour.
Which is pretty much all the time. No.
Yes. Who's that old man at the school? Is he doing mischievous behaviour?
Oh, jeez.
No, when I was a school student, not currently.
Yeah, not now. That'll be weird.
Yeah, that would be weird.
That would come across a bit wrong to our listeners. So these are our 2 polkas. It's called School Polka and School Polka 2.
Yeah, the sequel to School Polka. A lot of people feel that School Polka 2 was actually the more superior version, but I think they're just nostalgia. Because once you had that, all the same characters are there. Just, yeah.
It's the same with every sequel, isn't it?
Yeah. Well,
like Lion King 2.
Lion King. There's a Lion King 2?
I think so.
I thought Lion King was Lion King 2 because I remember when Lion King used to be Kimber the White Lion. Do you remember Kimber the White Lion?
No.
So Kimber the White Lion was this Japanese anime that used to run when I was a kid, and it was amazing. It was like Kimber, Kimber, who's the king of animals in Africa? And then I thought, this is groovy. And then Sydney goes, no, it's Lion King. And his name's not Kimber, it's Simba. Suck on that, copyright claims. That'll fool them. Didn't fool me.
I'm going to watch the one.
Yeah, you watch
mentioned.
it.
I will.
You look out for it.
I will.
Simba, Kimber the White Lion.
Okay. I'm going to look in.
Punch up baboons and all this kind of stuff. And
Punch up baboons.
Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
okay. Well, let's get into it. Let's do our school polka.
Please.
In with that. All right.
Thanks.
School polka. I'm just battling with my mic stand
you
right
are.
now.
That was pointing right into the violin and making the violin have a bit of overdrive, which is rock.
Oh, that was the effect I was going for.
Brilliant, yeah.
Wanted some rock violin,
yes.
Mahavishnu orchestra style.
Really, yeah.
Playing through, that fiddle player used to play through a Hammond organ amp. I think that's how he got his sound.
Really? Who's this? Like,
the Mahavishnu orchestra.
not personally, but...
Well, yeah, I don't know them personally. If you heard of that band,
yeah.
they do really cool, obscure, because they really liked Indian folk music and stuff. They were really loving that sort of style with different time signatures. I can't remember the fiddle player in that band from the top of my head.
Well, that's one for the Google machine listeners at home. If you're listening to this on the Google enabled device, you can have a bit of a search and educate yourself.
Educate yourself.
For the school polka.
But all right, well, you've got some information about the next one.
Oh, yes. So, well, as you know, folks, we spoke about this last week on the episode 1, series 2, live at the Providence Cafe. A little bit about this chap. We play him a lot, and we don't play him because we like him. We play him because we hate him, and he's dead, and we can take all his stuff. And his name is Alexander Lang. He's a bit of a racist bastard, but nevertheless, that's history. And I think if you try and gloss that over, what's that song by those New Zealand folks? History never repeats. No, that's the wrong song. History, you got to make sure history never repeats. You got to keep an eye on it. It'll sneak up behind you and get you. So,
like a snake bite.
Yeah. So Alexander Lang, he was a fiddle player, 1792 he was born. And this is from the book, we're going to play one of his songs next, and this is a little bit about him from the book On the Fiddle, From Scotland to Tasmania, 1815-1863. The Life and Music of Alexander Lang, 1792 to 1868. Convict, constable, fiddler, composer, bastard. This book was written by Peter McPhee and Stephen Marjorie Gadd in 2009. It's a wealth of Tassie tunes that we still play that were resurrected by these guys and put in this lovely book. And there's some information here. So this is the Sorrell Windmill we're going to play next. So the Sorrell Windmill, once a highly visible landmark that overlooked Pittwater, Alexander Lang is probably referring to the second windmill constructed at Sorrell by Richard Downard in 1831. Robert Nash's 1870 mill, of course, was derelict following his death in 1819. Built on high ground behind the Sorrell School, the new mill and millhouse remained a landmark for many years after it ceased operation around 1860, surviving as a ruin into the photographic era. And that's the era we're in right now, the latter half of the photographic era. So, are you still awake, folks? Because this is a true story. This will be on the exam.
Whoa. Oh, watch out there.
Yeah, that'll be on the exam. So that's the Sorrell Windmill. And, Alexander Lang was out there in Sorrell. And we came across some recent information. Well, I came across some recent information about some of his activities against the Indigenous population here. And they were quite dishonourable and mean.
Yes.
So just keep that in mind as we play these songs. Cheer yourself up a bit. But, just remember there's one golden rule in life, and that's really just don't be a prick. Really? And things will go reasonably all right.
Reasonably all right.
Yeah. I mean, there are certain things that are going to pop up from time to time, but if you really sort of stay on the track of just being a decent human being, you'll
end up okay.
You'll contribute to the effort.
That's right. Well, shall we play Sorrell Windmill?
Yeah.
I love our segues today. It's great.
Yeah, man. I just think I've reached that point where I just don't care anymore and I'm going to drive this into a ditch.
Well, I'll try and keep us away from that.
Just grab the wheel. If you see me going off the side, grab the wheel and just jerk it really hard.
Trust me, I do it every time.
It's the safest way.
It is the safest way. All right, here we go.
Sorrell Windmill by Alexander Lang. totally forgot about that pause.
I was giving you the
You
look.
You did, and I thought, oh my God, am I in the wrong... Oh no, there's something I need to remember. I need to remember it in the next few seconds.
You've got to do something.
Come on, brain.
Well
and then
done.
we were there.
And we were there.
That was the Sorrell Windmill
was
by
amazing.
Alexander Lang. That one goes back into the early 19th century. It's about a windmill.
Windmill, that's... what did you say? The one that we lost was like windmills are in Australia.
Oh yes, in Australia, the windmill is a device that is in the landscape of Australia. Usually, the windmill is made out of iron, and it's used to pull up salty, brackish water from beneath the ground from the great artesian bore that is then brought up to the surface and used for the sheep. But in the Sorrell windmill, that one was used for the wheat.
That was breathtaking. All right. Well, we're up to our fifth tune.
That'll be it then. We can get out. We can get out of the curse of episode 2.
We can relieve ourselves from the curse. Hopefully, when you get home tonight, it'll still be there.
Oh God! If this one doesn't work, I swear I'm just gonna carry on as usual and swear.
I'm gonna get a very angry call from you later on tonight. I just want to answer my phone.
Yeah. Emily, I'm not angry at you, but...
Yes. Well, fantastic. Well, you know what I found? I actually found a bit of information about this tune. I know.
This next tune that we're going to play.
The last tune, yes. It's one more schottische, just, to bookend it, because we started with a schottische. We're going to end with one. So this is another tune that by a composer that we like playing. It's Paddy Riley.
Paddy Riley.
Who lives down at Cygnet.
She's still alive.
She is. Had lunch her a couple of weeks ago. She was doing great.
That's good.
Yep. So this is called the Gumnut Schottische, and she says in her little book, a fierce westerly picked up and showered my roof with hundreds, maybe thousands of tiny gumnuts. The noise was extreme.
The westerly wind in Tasmania is an atmospheric condition that we sometimes undergo, and a gumnut is a small, furry, marsupial animal with savage teeth and bloodlust in its eye.
That's right.
Sometimes they're the only creatures that can mitigate a infestation of drop bears because they're very small. They get into the armpits of the drop bears and eat them out from there.
You're possibly going to freak out our listeners who are in France and Canada.
The curse of season 2.
Oh dear. You're going to have fun with some sound effects in there.
Yeah, I am. It's we dedicate this episode to Vincent Price.
Well, thanks for listening today. And
sorry it's late.
Sorry, and we hope it actually gets out to you as well.
Yeah, we hope you're okay. I hope everything's well down there in Antarctica, and everything's pretty good in France as well. In Canada, you'll be fine.
You'll be fine.
You'll be right.
All right, so this is the Gumnut Schottische.
All right, let's go.
1, 2, 3. Yay.
That was the Gumnut Schottische by Paddy Riley. You've been listening to the Wolfe and Thorn Heritage Fiddle podcast, etc., etc. My name's CC Thornley, and I play the banjo.
And I'm Emily Wolfe, and I play the fiddle. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going
That's
to
un-Australian, if you don't do that. So thank you very much for listening. We'll be back next week, providing technology hasn't melted down and we enter into a global apocalypse, which is
weather permitting.
Unlikely, but never impossible. The chances are never zero. But, chances are you'll be okay.
Chances up.
Hooroo.
Hooroo.